Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe.
Yeah,
does help us, and we do really appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Decoy voice. Why California looks like a war zone?
Is that bad, is it?
I don't know, because we get a lot of news over here that's very selective. Since Trump's not been the president, we don't get as much American news as what we used to get.
No, it used to be daily, didn't it?
A lot of news. When Trump was in power, we got a lot of news. Some good, some bad.
Yeah,
so it was like
a bit of a mixture, definitely.
It's like mainstream media. There's never really much of a balance. There's always an agenda. But most of the time. But we get little bits and bobs of things that are going on in the USA. But it seems to have calmed down a lot of the news over here.
Yeah,
from the USA.
very much so.
Don't really get that much news now. You have to try and find it.
Yeah,
which I do. I like global news.
Yeah,
I don't want to know what's going on in Leeds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm never going to go to Leeds that often.
Yeah, if there's big incidents, normally it gets over here, but there's certainly definitely not as much as there used to be.
No, so like there's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of civil unrest going on around the world. With, you heard about problems going on in France, problems going on in Germany, problems in England.
There's a lot of conflicts, isn't there? Like in Israel and Palestine and all that, and
Russia, Ukraine,
and all that. So.
Yeah, even that's died down. We don't hear much about the Russian conflict anymore.
A lot more prevalent, didn't it? I mean, obviously we've got our own election going on as well now, so that's sort of all over the news as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a lot of issues
as well.
Yeah. But it's like to sort of like sometimes good to find out sort of like what's going on. I like to know what's going on around the world.
Yeah, I've always got an interest, definitely, definitely in the US anyway.
Yeah,
so
we've got friends all around the world as well in different countries, sort of thing. So it's always good to get a perspective of what's going on where they live. But this is why California looks like a war zone. Don't know what's going on here.
I mean, it's a big place for it all to look like a war zone. So whether it's just like little pockets of, well, it's a big old place, isn't it, California?
It is. Should we get into it and see what Decoy Voice has got to say?
Yeah, why not?
What he's going to tell us about it.
In San Francisco, California, unemployed behavior takes over yet another street. But unfortunately, a car broke down, so for some reason, the EBT tribes decided to torch it. As just because they can't afford shoes, they think they were you from Street Fighter 2. Which made the city look like a literal war zone, as traffic was backed up for blocks. It made it impossible for emergency services to respond on time. As when they finally did, it was far too late. So San Francisco is in trouble, and somehow they think if your city looks like a war zone, maybe Biden will send them billions of taxpayer dollars for relief. But unfortunately, that's not how it works, at least for Americans. Because all these scenes do is make our society look like Elysium levels of dystopia, as the few wealthy elites get to look down from their towers at the peasant class that lives on the surface in their lawless squalor, just trying to block out the sound that is modern-day San Francisco.
It's funny about the elites when they look down on you, because I was watching the political broadcast of the or the political debate with Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer.
Yep.
And I can't remember what the woman didn't call him Keir, called him something else that sounded like Keir. Yeah. And I'm like, hang on a minute, where are you going with that?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But then on that he said he was poor, Sunak.
Yeah,
he's married to like a multi-billionaire, number one. But he said he was poor growing up. And they said, "Well, how did you find poor? What did you have to miss out on?" He said they didn't have Sky TV. Jeez, that's poor, isn't it? Hey, you don't Sky TV. We didn't even have a TV.
I was going to have TV.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it's great we have the sponsor for today's video, Raycon. With all the various sets of earbuds in the market, it's amazing that Raycon can give you the same audio quality from their active noise cancellation noise, especially with the various optimized gel tips. Description box below, or go to buyraycon.com. Sadly, San Francisco isn't the only city in California that's subjected to this unemployed nonsense, as all over Los Angeles they see similar street takeovers that also have begun to take over random residents' homes.
I'd be hella mad if I was in. Oh, I swear to God, if that was my house, I'd be tripping.
That always seem to end up in mass looting scenes, as this time they took over an auto zone.
What can I say? But if they thought it was...
I'm just curious what they're nicking out of AutoZone.
I can
Some
only
guy
imagine
walking out with like a battery, a car battery, or a kind of spray,
spark plugs and some de-icer. Or de-icer in California, probably not.
Air fresheners.
Yeah. I'm guessing there's some stereo equipment there, though.
I remember AutoZone. It's quite a big store from what I remember.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of our Holfords over there. I know they do like car stereos and speakers
very
and
similar,
stuff.
Yeah.
Apart from actually general auto stuff and cleaning stuff and what have you.
Yeah, but they are big department stores, sort of like style. Yeah. Sort of like, you know, they're not like we get over here. I mean, Halfords is quite stocked in it over here.
Yeah.
Quite big sort of.
It's the only one I can think of for that type of thing, really, over here. Yeah. In general.
Yeah, you're probably right, actually. I can't think of another.
All the stuff they have in it. I mean, I can't think of another one comparable, really.
Yeah, the one I know in the USA, they used to have another one called Pet Boys.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay.
Because I used to always say to Gaynor, should we go Pet Boy shop? It's like, it's not funny. It's never been funny.
I think it's
the same.
They thought it was going to be hot. Well, it is going to be hot.
It's going to paint. Yeah, that's what, right? Roof rack.
Where again, local law enforcement was far too late. And then when Fox News finally got there,
he is being booked on felony. Whoa.
He kicked him out the store.
Okay.
So they can't keep the streets, the stores, the news, or even your home safe from these hordes of lawless nonsense, and you'd hope they'd see this and think, okay, maybe we've made a mistake in our decisions to be so soft on crime. Maybe we don't want California to turn into the culture of third world living at first world prices. Nah, as Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom can't stop spending on nonsense that nobody even knows where our billions of dollars go. So he's decided to exacerbate our issues by further defunding the police, public safety programs, and clearing out the prisons to fix the deficit that he caused. As places like UCLA spent $500,000 worth of police resources fighting off 4 days of college protests, only to release the protesters without charges so they can immediately retake the campus.
Where did you guys learn this?
Apparently led by the faculty themselves.
Are you going to participate in the violence here, Professor?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You're staff, right?
Yeah.
And what's happening on these college campuses is just a microcosm of what deep blue cities are doing all across California. As it doesn't matter how many millions you spend on cops to finally enforce the laws, if they fail to actually charge the criminals to face real consequences, it actually just reinforces the fact that authorities can do absolutely nothing to stop them. Then it
I wonder what's caused it, so like on a global level. It seems that many big cities are all going down the same route.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of them in the US, California, I think on the campuses, was that a lot of the Israeli-Gaza sort of like conflicts?
Yeah,
I think that's what's been tripping that, I think, isn't it?
It's the same over here. There's a lot of protesting going on over here for both sides.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I firmly stay out of, and it's nothing to do with me.
I don't proper protests. I don't mind at all. If people are protesting, you're allowed to do it. Absolutely do it. It's when later on then starts violence and they go into loot, and then I'm thinking, oh, come on. I mean, protest about something, but I mean, keep it peaceful and for a reason.
As long as don't get in the way of the football that's on at the moment, and keep it over there. Don't bring them to the pubs. Don't bring them to the pubs or where the TV is, where they're showing the match. But no, it just seems to be around the world on a global scale.
Yeah,
the protests that are going. I'm not just talking about what's going on in the Middle East, but I'm talking about there's all different types of shit going down.
Yeah.
It's just like protesting for loads of stuff, and then it's like you've got the ones over here, climate control, stop oil people. It's like it seems to be something new coming up all the time.
Yeah, there's more than one issue, I think. I think there's like several issues, and certainly around the world there is, and it's happening in quite a lot of places at the moment. It's a bit of a spike in it, anyway. It
just seems that everyone seems to follow the trends of where they're going.
Sometimes it is, isn't it? Scale, sometimes when someone starts and it spreads, doesn't it? And
it just continues the vicious cycle of crime rates going up, defunding the police for being ineffective, neutering the little law enforcement left, and then complaining about the crime rates going up again. As I left Los Angeles for this exact reason, third world living at first world prices. As their prized 6th Street Bridge refurbishment that cost the taxpayers over $500 million doesn't even work anymore, as they can't stop the homeless from stealing the copper wiring to fund their amphetamine fixes, and are now turning to stealing fire hydrants, endangering us all just so they can get high one time.
Thieves are turning off the water first and then literally unbolting the fire hydrants and using their vehicles to knock it off and haul it away. And it's not just here. Sheriff deputies told neighbors they've seen the same thing happening in Linwood, where multiple hydrants have been taken there too.
And back to San Francisco, where the police are equally weak. Apparently, they can't even fix potholes due to the danger of being in those neighborhoods.
When the day came for workers to
That's another major global issue. Everyone's moaning about potholes. Where'd they come from?
That's nothing compared to what's around here either.
No, I can have a bath in some of them around here. My bath shower.
It's absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? But
yeah, it's but that's another thing that's like come up around the world as well. You speak to people all over the world and they all moan about potholes.
Yeah.
And you're like, I thought it was just a thing here because it's absolutely shit engineering we've got here.
Obviously, that and something councils try and save money on, isn't it? You know, they don't want to spend it on the roads. They'll spend it on, well, what do they spend it on?
They spend it on their own personal bullshit. I've been watching this documentary on this place called Dalton in Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
The mayor there, I've been following a story with her, and she's bad news, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bad news. We did a reaction to it on the other channel, but I've since been following the story and been watching other stuff on it. Yeah. She's not a good person.
Oh, really?
She's spending money like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
She thinks it's hers. Yeah, but I guess that's what the councils do.
Councillors do, don't they?
show up and repave the roads, they were a no-show.
The project was suspended indefinitely because the contractor felt unsafe performing work in East Oakland and was not going to complete the project until the city of Oakland can guarantee a safe work environment for them.
So no wonder San Francisco turned the tech capital of the world into a ghost town of boarded up buildings, which looks exactly like when I visited Santa Monica recently, where the tourist hotspot that was the 3rd Street Promenade has now become an empty shell of what used to be busier than Disneyland. And as more people flee these cities for Republican states that still believe in law and order, California is apparently taking the desperate measures trying to tax the people that already left. And it's truly sad, as California is a literal paradise, gifted perfect weather with beautiful beaches right next to snowy mountains that attracted all the businesses, entertainment, and food you could ask for. And all the local government had to do is maintain the status quo of safety. But somehow the Democrats decided to protect the takers over the makers. And now when the people that provide all the social programs that continuously fail finally get fed up and take their millions of tax contributions to Texas, it won't solve any of California's issues. It just brings those same brainless idiots to other states to spread the same policies that they're fleeing like the literal disease that it is. As liberal lawlessness isn't exclusive to California, as equally left New York City is now seeing their streets being taken over by immigrants, protesting ICE, demanding that we respect their rights. To which New Yorkers are obviously angry.
How do they know what they're saying? Don't speak Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I can have a big protest out here too, B. I'm not alone, man. Just move it, yo. Straight up, move it. Nah, don't tell me what to do. I ain't here by myself. Yo, we deep over there. Don't do that.
As apparently 135 of the 680 hotels in the city have now been turned into shelters for their, quote, newcomers, and combine them with the Palestine protesters also taking over the streets, and now even their subway systems, the only people actually getting arrested in their streets are Trump supporters.
Let them go. This is a travesty. They're going to persecute every one of us. Trump said that it can happen to each and every one of us. And look.
And that's the biggest yikes of it all, as they still know how to enforce the law, but only when it hurts them politically. Newcomers illegally blocking the streets to demand something that's currently illegal, but also happens to be what the Democrats have been recently demanding, by all means allow them to stop commerce all throughout the city. As we learned during the BLM Summer of Love, doing the Democrats' dirty work is now a protected class. So if you appreciate my concise, light-order commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on why Biden looks...
Yeah, there's no way that being divisive on here. We're not aiming for anything like that. We don't have a side. We don't have a side in any US politics. Just curious what's going on.
Yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it, as to where things develop. But I will say one thing, whatever happens, I mean, I think you've got to have law and order. you know, in the correct manner.
Oh, of course
I think some of these things where people are looting and just letting them get away with it. I can see why they do it to a certain extent because of the amount of people doing it.
The media don't help, you know, with a lot of stuff that goes on. Because I look at it from it. I try and sort of like base it on sort of like interests that I'm involved in, to try and sort of like do a comparison. And I was reading the other day about as soon as there's a big European football competition on at the moment. For those who don't know. And it's in Germany, and a lot of the England fans have always got notorious behaviour for being a little bit
rowdy,
yeah,
to say the least.
Yeah. They're not the best behaved, but there's a few other countries as well which are similar. But there was a fight that broke out the other day, and straight away the press were on it saying the England fans again, and everyone jumps on the bandwagon saying, look at what the England fans are doing. And I watched the video, and they weren't talking English.
No,
they weren't. It was Eastern European, and couldn't work out which team he supported. Saw one guy with a Serbia tracksuit top on, get punched, right? But the guy who hit him had an Albania shirt on.
Right, okay.
So the guy come on the ring, he went, listen, we were all just sat in the bar, minding our own business. It was all quiet. He said, and a group of lads come rushing the bar. He said, and we were all sat here, these Serbians in here, these British in here, or English. He said, we're all getting on together. Everyone was having a good time. And it's been ran by a bunch of Albanians. Albanian fans. But the press, quick enough to jump on, look what the English are doing.
Blaming English straight away.
Yeah, and I'm like, so that's the only thing I can compare it with. It's kind of like getting blamed straight off the bat without having to do anything. I'm not talking, you know...
I mean, they had previous, maybe 20 years ago. Before that, they had the reputation of causing trouble, but last 10, 15 years, it's been completely different, I think.
I know people that have been banned from going, that go to the games, and they're not allowed to go anymore. Or the ban has just sort of like just been upheld, finalised in the last 2 years, and this is their first tournament back, and they were banned for fighting. So I know they're going to cause trouble. I know that's what they do.
Listen, with thousands over there, because it could be 150, 200,000 England fans,
300,000.
You're going to get you're going to get some out of it.
You just are a good large percentage.
It could be, you know, like a stag do or something like that, and you're always going to get one or two which are going to cause a bit of trouble. But that's with any country, really, isn't it? So, but you know, they tar everyone with the same brush, don't they?
I mean, once you get fans together as well, like the Dutch are notorious as well. The Serbs, the Albanians, they're notorious. For Italians,
absolutely,
you know. So it's when you get them all together, there's going to be something that's going to be organised to meet up. And it'll be the Brits or the English that get blamed.
But it's a bit like the protests around the world in the US. You know, probably most of them are like just protesting peacefully and like they should do. Absolutely right. Nothing wrong with that. But there's probably, again, like a percentage, like a handful, which sort of what cause a bit of trouble as well and a bit of mayhem. And it's the same sort of scenario. And I just think what's happening in other countries sometimes, I'm just doing it from my point of view, what I'd want to happen if it was happening over here. If it happening in other people's countries, that's up to them as to the way they deal with it. And they've got their own policies, absolutely get that. And like I say, we don't get involved in that. But certainly over here, I think if people are causing trouble, you've got to react in a certain way if you're the police, you know, and do your jobs.
Planning a trip to the USA, it's not like looking at where we're going to go, what part of the USA we want to go to. We've got three of us and three different opinions.
Oh dear. East Coast, West Coast, right in the middle.
Ada wants to go to Texas. I want to go to somewhere like Idaho or Montana, places like that. And Gayna's like, she wants to go to North Carolina. So it's like for three very different areas sort of thing. So we have to come to a compromise of who's going to it'd be me that wins.
Flip a coin. Who's paying for it?
Exactly.
That's where you're going.
But anyway, it's good to find out. If you've got any information, let us know. Don't be mean and negative in the comments. It's not a one-sided. It's not one-sided thing.
At all.
It's not there to set up an argument. It's not
just
what it's
interesting
about.
to see what's happening over the other side of the world and around all different places, and interesting to hear
current
other people's
affairs.
point of view on it. Definitely,
There you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.